There you go. So I'm Wayne Haber, Director of Engineering. We've got Mark, one of our senior technical recruiters. Hey, Mark, thanks for helping me improve my recruiting practices and for agreeing to do this quick recording on what we like and what we don't like about what I've been doing so others can learn from it.
Of course, happy to help. I just recently joined GitLab, so it's amazing to see how involved hiring managers are over here. So let's get to it.
So I'm going to share my screen and show only show public information, of course. So here's my current one of my current job listings, and I copied most of it from other similar job listings, then of course made it specific for this role and added a lot of links to the various interesting things that candidates can learn about for the role. I made sure it showed what skills are needed and which teams this team works with, and also did a quick video, which I'm always surprised how many people actually watch me talk about the role. But the video I think is 90 seconds long, and people seem to like hearing about it in addition to reading it, and it's also a summary. But what are your thoughts on the job listing?
So when we scroll up, you can actually see a few things that I really like. So often a job description is very static. It provides you with the information what a company wants and what a team wants to see, right? Have you done this? Have you done that? Instead, this is a little bit more storytelling about what the team actually is doing with the links to all the relevant handbook pages, which actually help because candidates want to see what they're going to build. It's a candidate's market right now, and it's not like they're jumping for a new job. They want to do something new. They want to have some challenges, and they really want to know how they're involved in the next in their job, basically. So this is actually an amazing step where candidates actually have information. I always say give before you ask, and this is what this job description is doing. This is giving information before you ask anything. Now, the video is something that a lot of companies haven't been utilizing, and I can only say utilize this. 90 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes is more than enough. It doesn't have to be really long, but this has a few advantages. One, it makes it personal because you as a hiring manager or you as a team member are actually sharing your thoughts about the job. It's really personal. And it tells so much more. It shows enthusiasm. It shows all the things that aren't really converted well when it's written. So this is really valuable for us as recruiters because we can actually use this on our LinkedIn efforts, on any effort with sourcing. And it helps you with basically creating a brand. This is brand building. And this is brand building for you as a hiring manager, for you as a team. Candidates will respond to this. Prospects will like this. They love to see these kind of things because it's easy. You don't have to read. You just click it and listen to it.
Great. Yeah, and I appreciate all your feedback on this. Yeah, that video I think has like 300, 400 views, which I don't know who wants to listen to me, but I guess a couple of people. Now where I put it, so I put the job listing in LinkedIn here. You can put the I'm hiring, so it shows here I'm hiring. I put here, I did a post about it as well. Get around handy right here. So it shows up in LinkedIn, you know, in various social media. And when I did that, I also I linked to the, I'm always made sure in the postings, one, I put a call to action, a CTA, of the link to the job description here. I also did a summary in the post, and then if the system supported it, rather than linking the YouTube video, I uploaded the video, which makes the user experience for the user in social media a bit better. And if I click on the video here as well, I made sure in the video itself in YouTube, even though I uploaded it to social media, here it is, 226 views. I put a link to the job description down here as well, so people knew where to click to see the job. So that, in and of itself, I got a good bit of feedback from the candidates that found us. They found out via one of these things. And I also encourage my team, both the product managers I work with and the engineers, to cross-post the social media posts so that there'd be more interest in it. What do you think of those things, and what else would you do? What do you like, what do you not like about those, Mark?
So the first part is the hiring badge. It's recent for LinkedIn. A lot of people haven't discovered it yet, but it's really comes in handy because people can quickly go to the job that you just posted. Now, going into to the details of LinkedIn, when you upload a link, it gets shared less. It doesn't end up in a lot of people's feed. When you upload the actual video, it will go into your feed. It will actually share more into LinkedIn. It's a little bit of an algorithm they have over there. It's annoying because it changes once in a while, but you will actually be able to attract more people with that video. Now, what you did was a very quick click from the video to YouTube to the job description, which makes it 3 clicks. That's it. And that's amazingly short for people to find out, hey, is this something that I really like? As a call to action, it's short and people don't have to put so much effort in it, because every step that we add drains the energy and basically drains the interest of a candidate or a prospect. So just keeping it short like you did, just 3 steps, that's more than enough, and they have all the content and all the information they want. And the beautiful thing is they can share the video with people they know, because they can do that via YouTube. They can just share it with somebody else over WhatsApp or whatever. So you're actually not just reaching the person that's watching it, but you're reaching other people as well.
Great. So the other thing, and I copied and pasted my template for when I do sourcing in LinkedIn. So the formatting didn't, I had more several paragraphs here, but this shows, this is what I use. So I say, hi, I think this is the template version of LinkedIn, first name, I tell them about the team, a quick summary, basically the same thing I say in the video. I'm starting this kind of team, and I basically just copied I thought the really important information in the job listing. I added a link to the video. As I've thought about it, I've thought about actually adding a link also to the job description, because sometimes people want the job description, not the video, and I've noticed they don't notice it's in the video, so they ask me for it, so I should update this. The other is, and this is really key, actually before I go there, the people really seem to appreciate the video. I've gotten a lot of feedback from candidates, like, this tells me they're willing to watch a 90-second video when they may not be interested in reading the message or reading the job description, etc. It also gets them a feel for who their manager may be, so that I got great feedback there. The other thing, and this is something I wasn't doing, and Mark, you told me this is great, is tell them why I reached out to them. So in this case, I changed this for every candidate. I saw your experience in Go and fraud detection and thought you might be interested. So if it's because they have fraud detection, or they have anti-abuse, they have trust and safety, or if they have skills in Go or in Python, which I'm looking for one of my other teams, I'll explicitly call that out. And when I changed, just to add this sentence on why I reached out to them, the rate at which candidates got back to me, it doubled. It was great. But what are your thoughts about this, Mark?
So this is the most important thing. A lot of recruiters, a lot of people reaching out. So this is something you have to know. A lot of people don't see that recruiters can reach out of the name of the manager. So this makes it a little bit more personal, because you actually show, hey, it's me with the video, etc. Now, hi first name is always good, because you don't want to say hi all or hey there or something like that, because that still happens. You're attracting attention with the I'm starting a 100% remote anti-abuse trust and safety engineering team. So that's the kicker, right? It's a short sentence like, hey, I've got something interesting for you. Now, the second thing is the most important thing people forget in reaching out. It's why. Why do I want you to read my message? Why do I want you to talk to me? Why am I interested in you? It's always about the why, and people forget that. If you are yourself getting a message from a recruiter, you kind of want to know why they reached out to you, right? It's not like, oh, it's just random, because that's what it feels like if you don't do this. If you don't specify on why am I reaching out to you, it feels like you send a message to 200 people, to 400 people. They don't feel special, and everybody kind of wants to feel special. Although we don't want to say it out loud, we do. So by saying, hey, I saw you experiencing Go or fraud detection, or hey, I saw that you did an amazing project at company X or company Y, And even when you scroll down on their LinkedIn profiles and you see where they're volunteering, if you can make that relevant to what you're reaching out to, it actually helps with gaining their attention, because now you became personal. Now you showed interest. And that's a huge part. Showing interest in somebody will get you some effort as well, because you show that you actually care about them. Although it's on a superficial level, it's just an email, but you showed your interest and you showed effort. So it's always good to at least say, hey, I saw these skills and this is why I'm approaching you. And it's even nicer to actually say, I saw some experience at company Y and Z. The most beautiful thing is the more you scroll down, as especially LinkedIn or any other platform that you find them, whenever you scroll down, you will find some older interests or older experiences. Sometimes it makes sense to just mention them, even very short, because then they know you actually scroll down. It's all about the perception. And then it's telling about the job, right? What are you gonna do? Because candidates want to know, hey, what am I gonna do at your company? Oh, hey, what am I gonna use? We're gonna use statistical analysis. We're gonna use rules, machine learning to detect abuse. It's giving them information instead of asking. And then it's the video. So it's a really short message, which helps. Now, a lot of people think like, hey, it has to be a long or short message. There is no golden rule there. The golden rule is, how personal are you? If I see a candidate that I really, really, really want to have, I'm going to make 8 paragraphs if needed. As long as I'm super focused on, why do I want to talk to you? What do I have for you? And what can I offer you? Instead of asking them, do you have this and this and this? Join us, because that's the wrong approach. Make sense?
It does, Mark. The other little things just I've noticed is I changed my LinkedIn name to the first name to have a special character in the first name. And what that does is, when anybody reaches out to me unsolicited, it tells me the difference between if they're using something automated and not watching or not. So I have a little circled W before my
Yeah,
the
I
W
noticed.
Twain, and that so I will look for that. Not many people do that, but I will look for that. And if they have their name as something else, I won't let the LinkedIn template put in their name. I'll type it in myself. The other little thing I've done, and I'm not sure I haven't done it recently, but I did in the past, is I looked to show if they had, to show that I was actually looking at their profile to see if it might be interested. I looked to see if they speak any languages other than English. And if so, and if not, that's fine, of course. But if so, I go down and I will use Google Translate to translate hello to one of the other languages they speak. And it just shows they actually looked at their profile. And some people did comment, candidates, that they appreciated that.
It's the small things that makes you different than all the rest. And that's what people are looking for, especially with so many recruiters hunting them down, right? It's already special that you as a hiring manager are actually doing that. And what you said about the name, I actually never thought about that, to be honest. But indeed, not copy pasting, because then it looks like a template, but actually typing it so that it doesn't have the different logos or whatever they put on there. That's actually helpful. But even the little salutation on Buenos Dias or something like that, that's going to help them, because you show that you actually read their profile. Small effort, big output.
Absolutely. Mark, anything else that you think are things that are important to you that you saw me doing well or saw me doing poorly that you gave me some advice on that are important when doing recruiting, especially of engineers?
So the only thing that I noticed was the personalizing part, right? So, hey, this is why I'm looking for you. So that's for everybody. That's a huge point. The second thing is that we as hiring managers, as recruiters, we need to think about out of the box, not looking into LinkedIn anymore. A lot of people, a lot of good engineers are leaving LinkedIn because of recruiters, because of getting 10 messages, 20 messages a day. I think you can all relate to that. It happens all the time. So what you see is that we have to be more creative on where are we going to find them, how are we going to approach them. So nowadays, especially as a hiring manager, this is where the real power comes in. Platforms like GitLab and GitHub actually going to people that contributed to code and actually saying, hey, listen, I saw you contribute. What about working here? Those small things are often things that we forget. but they're super helpful because you already see what they're doing. We can utilize those platforms as well. I even hired somebody from Twitch, a streaming platform, because that person was explaining things about SRE. I actually went in there to learn from that person, and I ended up hiring the person because he was smarter than I thought. And that's what we can utilize as well. So that's why those videos are so important, because a YouTube video is not just LinkedIn. We can put it everywhere. We can use it everywhere. So that's super helpful. I love the videos. I have never been in a company that actually utilized them. So I was super happy to see that over here.
Cool. I hadn't thought about, but in the past, occasionally I have searched through GitHub and GitLab for people that have contributed to various projects that might be of interest. And it was, I didn't put too much into it, so I got out of it what I put into it, but I can see that being a great way. The other, and I actually learned this from somebody I used to, an engineering manager I used to mentor, and I love reverse mentorship. I learned something really key from him as well in the past, was that he also used Twitter. Is he would reach out to people who'd mentioned certain keywords in Twitter saying, hey, it looks like you're working in Ruby on Rails or whatever. And, you know, we're working in that area and maybe you're interested. And he'd send him the job description. And he got a lot of interest that way as well. You know, it's a different way of doing sourcing, but it was really effective for him. I haven't done that myself, but he did find that to be effective.
Definitely works. Depends a little bit on the geo. So in the US, Twitter is still working. In EMEA, in APJ, they hardly use Twitter anymore. So those platforms, they have their uses. The only thing you have to think about is you explained it a little bit, is how to message, right? You can't put a job description on Twitter. Nobody's going to respond to it. But if you start posting messages about how interesting things are at job that you're doing, or hey, I'm building the team, after a while, right, you start posting like, I'm so excited, I'm doing this, or have you seen this challenge? And then suddenly you start, oh, I'm building out my team. People will actually respond as well. It's basically a job description without building a job description, but those kind of things take time. It's the same as recruiting on Reddit. It's possible, but it takes time because you have to build that whole relationship. And there's not always time to do that. So I'm already happy when we do this on LinkedIn, and then we slowly move forward to the next steps. But there are so many opportunities to find right talent, especially now that LinkedIn is being left by a lot of people.
I didn't know that. That's good to know. I'm not surprised, but I didn't know that was a new trend. Well, thanks, Mark. Really appreciate it.
More than happy. More than happy. It was amazing to do. And if anybody has questions, just reach out to me.
And of course, another thing to do is to always promote your roles when you do things that people might see. As we are hiring for many different teams at GitLab, my team's hiring for an anti-abuse trust and safety team, both managers and engineers with experience in Go, and also applied machine learning team with separately but related, but experience in Python and applying machine learning, and hiring across many of my other teams in growth and fulfillment, primarily Ruby on Rails developers and front-end engineers. And Mark, I know you're looking across many teams in engineering. There's probably, I think we have 30 open positions perhaps in engineering.
I've got 32 now, yeah.
Wow. So.
Enough. So cross-posting helps, especially so don't underestimate the power of one little post. Your post is going to be noticed by other people. The more we share each other's posts, the more people we're going to reach. It's about the first degree, second degree, third degree, and then the no degree. And people forget that people outside of those networks, they will see those messages. If you just share enough, you can reach 20,000 views if you add a video or if you add a photo to something like that. So cross-posting and helping each other out will actually lend you way more inbound, qualitative inbound, than just not doing anything.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. Have a great day.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.